What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the shop. I hope everybody's doing well. Now this video is going to be about dust extraction. Mucho importante if you're in a shop that makes a lot of dust, if you're working with anything like MDF, plywood, hardwoods, that kind of thing, if you have machines, it's vitally important that you get some sort of dust extraction and that you wear a respirator, because this stuff can be dangerous, especially the really fine particles. Now I've just bought a new dust extraction system, and what I'll do is I'll take you through it. I'll explain why I chose this particular system, and it might be some helpful information for you if you're looking for some dust extraction for your shop. It might be just some good info to see why I chose this particular model. So we'll go through it, I'll show you what I get with it, we'll give it a quick test, and in a later video then I'll do an update on how it's performing. So yeah, let's go take a look. Right guys, this is the particular dust extractor in question. This is the Record Power Dx4000. Now why this particular machine? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first one is the dust itself. This machine will do down to 0.5 microns, which is vitally important because it's that fine dust that does all the damage. The larger dust is known as nuisance dust. That can get stuck in the mucus in your lungs and you can get that back up, but the really fine stuff gets stuck in your lungs and you can't get it back out, and that's the one that does all the damage. Now this is a barrel type one it has 3 different filters inside it. That's why you can get down to that 0.5 micron. The standard chip extractors, they're marketed as dust extractors, but they're really not. That's the bag type, so you have the bag on top and the bag on the bottom. The air is blown back out through that bag at the top. That bag on top is essentially your filter, and that doesn't go down to 0.5 microns. So as the air and the chips have been extracted and the dust, that dust gets kicked back out through that bag unless you put an additional filter over it. So that's just something to think about when you're buying a system. Those chip extractors, although they may be called dust extractors, they're really only chip extractors, but this is an actual dust extractor. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is its size. It's nice and compact. It'll sit under your machines, it'll sit under the workbench. That's also a negative in one sense because it has a low capacity, but you could hook this up to like a cyclone system with a larger barrel, and that's fine. The next thing is it's really powerful. So this is powerful enough to be used as a main extractor for your dust extraction system. So if I decide to put pipework in here to all my machines, this is powerful enough to be used as the main extractor for all that pipework, which is another bonus. Again, it can be used with your power tools, which is another great bonus as well. It has 2 motors, 2 1 kilowatt or 1.25 horsepower motors. It's a high pressure, low volume system, so that means there is no issue whatsoever attaching a 32mm hose to it. It will work with all your power tools. It has 2 like I say 1 kilowatt motors, and they have a continuous runtime of 4 hours. Now a standard shop vac doesn't have a continuous use motor in it. It's a limited use motor, so you can burn them out if you're using them extensively, whereas this one is designed to run for 4 hours each motor. When you attach the 32mm hose, that knocks it down a bit. They're down to 2 hours, but you can run one motor for 2 hours, run the second motor for 2 hours, then switch back to the first motor. If you're doing a lot of work, 4 hours of sanding or dusting, something like that in a row, it probably won't happen, but you can just run this continuously from one motor to the next. So that's another great reason. So like I say, it will work as your main system, it will work with individual machines, and it will also work with your power tools, and it goes down to 0.5 microns for dust extraction. The only negative to it is its size, possibly. If you're going to run it with a planer thickness or that, they produce a lot of chips and a lot of dust, and it will fill quite quickly, but that's the only real negative. So that's why I went for this particular thing, because it gets that fine dust. It's mobile, you can use it with individual machines and you can use it with power tools, and it's powerful enough to be used as part of your system. So let's take a look inside it. I'll show you what we got with it, and then we'll give a quick demonstration of it. Let's do it. Right guys, a quick look at the machine and what comes with it. So obviously you get the machine itself, you get some spare bags, and you get the flexible hose, the 100mm or 4-inch hose with one quick couple on the end of it. Now, I've put the quick couple on this end just to make it easier to go around to the machines. I see most people, they have it on this end and they Jubilee clip this guy onto their machines, but that just, Jubilee clip this end, put your quick couple on this end, and you go onto your machines. Now, this machine doesn't actually come with a clip. I don't know why. I mean, it would cost 50 cents, €1 maybe, to give you a Jubilee clip with the machine. I mean, it's not a cheap machine. It's not overly expensive, but it's not cheap. And yeah, so that's one negative. Why not include a Jubilee clip with the machine? I mean, it would cost nothing. But the machine itself is fantastic, so we'll forgive it that. It's just one little gripe. You have to gripe about something. So let's have a look inside it. there's our twin filters on our two motors. So we have an outer bag filter, pop it off like that, and we have the inner filter just inside that there. So that's two filters, and then our third filter is the main bag that sits inside in your bin, which is this guy here. So that's how you get down to your 0.5 microns. Now you can take this bag out if you wish. If you're doing a lot of chip extracting and you want a bit more capacity, you can pull this bag out. But like I say, you won't get down to 0.5 microns with this bag out. So that's just something to think about. Now there is accessories available for the machine. So there's a wheel kit. I'm just going to make a plywood board and stick some casters on it. Nice and simple, just to wheel it around the shop when I'm using it with my power tools. It doesn't come with a 32mm hose, but Record Power do sell an accessory kit. It's just like this 32mm hose with various attachments that will go onto all your power tools. So yeah, and that's pretty cheap. So that's not too bad. So let's power this thing up. Let's give it a test, and I'll show you it working. Right, it's plugged in and powered up. I really need to get a wide angle lens so I don't have to keep getting down on the floor. So the shot's kind of small, but needs must. So like I say, it has two 1 kilowatt motors or two 1.25 horsepower motors, and it's capable of moving 106 liters per second, which is quite a lot. This thing is pretty powerful. So it's not actually overly loud, which is good. It's about as noisy as a standard shop vac, so that's not too bad. So just with one motor on, like a standard shop vac, works with power tools. With two motors on then, it's pretty powerful. It will pretty much take our hand off. Oh yeah. Like I say, it's pretty strong. Right, I'll just give you a quick look inside after doing that bit of vacuuming, and you can see the filter for yourself. So you can see there's absolutely nothing on the bags. There's very, very little inside in the main bag itself. So there you go, all the dust and chips are in there. So you can see almost nothing is getting through the main filter bag, to the bag filters, to the main filters. So that's why it's able to get down to such fine levels of dust control, which is exactly what you want, and it's fantastic. This thing does kick out a lot of air from around here. So yeah, there's no sign of any dust whatsoever. So it's getting down past that 5 micron, which is exactly what you want for a safe working environment. So there we go. Right guys, there we go. That's my new dust extractor, the Record Power Dx4000. Just to recap, again, it gets down to 0.5 microns. It's powerful enough to be used as a main dust extractor for your system. You can also use it with power tools, two motors. You can run them individually or together. So that's why I opted for this system. It's nice and compact as well. Now the only thing I have to decide is whether I keep this thing mobile and make a wheel base for it, or whether I plumb in an actual system itself. I'll keep you updated on that. If I decide to plumb in a system, I'll do a video on it. For now, I think I keep it mobile. You can see how handy it is with that 32mm hose, just to use it as a shop vac as well. It's pretty powerful, and it works really well with like the likes of the router or sanders or anything like that. It's also pretty good. So maybe keeping it mobile might be a good option for now, but we'll decide about that. So yeah, that's it guys. Oh, if you're wondering about the black eye, that's from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I wasn't in a pub full of beer in a fight or anything like that, so it's all completely legal, don't worry about it. So yeah, to all the new subscribers, welcome along guys. Thanks for subscribing. To all my existing subscribers, I hope all is well with you guys, and thanks for the support. Comments and questions below as always, and hopefully this has been helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.